In today's video, I talk about why failure is a good thing. What's going on, everyone? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com, and first things first, since I'm not going to be doing anything social media related tomorrow, I just wanted to take time out and say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, because without y'all, none of this would be going on. My wife is simply the rock in my life, makes everything go. And I've also been, have amazing, my mom, my stepmom, my grandmothers. It's just, I'm very thankful, and it's silly to me that we only have one day to be like, this is for Mother's Day. I really try to make every day Mother's Day for my wife. So, family first, and there's nothing realer than that. So hopefully you guys have some awesome stuff planned, and if you forgot that tomorrow is Mother's Day, well, I just reminded you. Go get your mom a damn card. She deserves it. Look up childbirth. Yeah. All right, guys, so let's get to the topic at hand today. And it's going to be a little different. I'm sure I'm going to make this title very clever so you know what it's about. But I wanted to talk about failure because it's got a negative connotation. And even myself, as I'm getting on in life, I'm 41 now, I'm starting to realize when I look back at my life, all of the really good things that have happened to me have all been the result of failure. And as I grow my business, and as I grow my brand, and as things in my life change, and as I raise my son, and all these things that are going on in my life, I often find myself feeling like I failed. But something happens when that happens. So I wanted to talk about some examples in my personal life of failures and why I feel like failing has been the greatest thing for me. Why do I feel like the periods of my life when I had the biggest setbacks, the biggest disappointments, it has changed my life. So I'm going to start with a very early example of getting fired. That's right, I got fired. I had a job with a company, thought it was going to be with that company for the rest of my life. It was a telecommunications company. Who knew that industry was going to be destroyed within a few years? But basically, I was working for this company. I was in IT, and a hurricane came through Orlando, knocked the roof off our building. Some water got in there. Now, the day of the hurricane, I was at a house and my car got trapped. A tree fell behind my car. So I couldn't get out to get to the office for 2 days. I was stuck there until literally someone moved a frickin' tree for me. Got to the office, helped out, got everything set up. 2 weeks later, they brought me in and they said, Paul, we're letting you go. After I'd been with the company for 5 years, moved 3 times, felt like I'd done everything I'd been asked, and when they told me why, they said, well, you weren't available during the emergency. You weren't here when everyone else was. And I was mad. I was actually really mad, because at this point in my life, I had put so much effort into this job, moving twice, and I felt like I was on a career path. When you got a job and you feel like you're on a career, and then it's just pulled out from under you. So I had a lot of anger that day. I had a lot of frustration. I think I called my girlfriend. I told her how mad I was. But something really cool happened. I thought, well, I have no job now. I have nothing to do. This is an opportunity. I've got some free time. So I thought about the job that I wanted. I wanted my boss's job. I said, screw this place. I'm going to become better. And I actually went back to school and started studying certifications, Microsoft stuff. And within a few months, well, guess what happened? I got a better job at a better office in a better company with better perks and better pay and the whole nine. All because I got fired. If I hadn't gotten fired and decided to change my life, I would have been stuck at that job. And that company ended up going out of business shortly thereafter. So who knows if I would have changed at that point. But the catalyst for getting better, gosh, and looking back on my life, when it comes to like playing sports. So I remember very on at an early age playing basketball one-on-one against someone and getting beat and thinking, how did that person beat me? And it made me so mad that I literally went out into the front yard and shot baskets for hours and hours every day. Every kind of angle, left hand, right hand, working on my dribble. These kind of minor things in my life that have caused these stresses have been the biggest reason why failure has moved me forward. And even now on a day-to-day basis, if I get an email from a client and they're not happy, there's two ways to look at that. I can go, well, they're a terrible person and they're not a good client and I shouldn't work with them anyway. But that's not the way I look at it. I look at it as, this person took the time to explain to me what's going on with them, and so I have to respect that. And it makes me get better as a coach. So tough clients or bad clients or high maintenance clients, those type of people require me to get better as a coach, get better at my job, get better at explaining things and making sure people understand me. So I'm constantly evolving. And I want you guys to kind of look at things that you're doing and take some risks. Be willing to fail, because otherwise we're just kind of coasting. The one thing I've realized over and over in this theme is that as my life has changed, as I've gotten to better places, a lot of that's come back to my wife, because I'm a very low stress person. I can get by, with very low stress. And when I went with my wife, I was renting a bedroom in a 2-bedroom apartment. Had very low rent, had no car payment. I was all about just like being very low stress, right? Now, my life has improved 100-fold since I met my wife, but it's been stressful at times, like buying houses, selling houses, moving. All these things that have been so much better for our lives cause a lot of stress, and they create a lot of tension and fear within me, but I'm always better for it. And so I'm constantly kind of putting myself into situations where I know it's going to be a little bit stressful. I know it's going to cause a little bit of problem, but I need to do it. Like this year with coaching, I'm traveling more this year than I ever have. I'm going to be gone 4 of the next 5 weekends for coaching events, for clients. And that's something that in the past I kind of avoided because, packing your bags, going to the airport, keeping up with client work, getting there, getting a car, getting the hotel, getting home, being away from my family, that's all very stressful. But like last weekend where I got to go to 2 shows in 2 days, that was one of the most rewarding coaching weekends of my life. And it didn't have nothing to do with placings. It had everything to do with connecting with my clients and being there one-on-one personal. And it's not something I can do with everyone that I work with, but it's something that I'm going to push harder and harder to do more and more of, even though it causes stress for me, even though I get a feeling like, man, this is going to be tough. Next week, I'm going back to school at USF. I'm going to be studying something in the exercise science department. Dr. Campbell's teaching a class on strength and performance. So it stresses me out to think I have to go to class next week. I have to get in my car, drive to campus, park, walk in the classroom, sit down, listen, come home, do homework, along with all the things that I'm doing in life, in business, in family. But guess what? We don't get better. We don't get more out of life by just accepting where we're at. And it's a message I have to constantly remind myself, like a daily reminder, like push yourself, go do more, you can handle it. And it's just something I wanted to remind you guys that I don't know if it always seems that way. I know sometimes when I see successful people, I think to myself, man, it's so easy for them. They're just so successful. They have all these things. And not that I consider myself successful, but I'm more successful than I used to be. And it's because I've pushed myself, pushed my boundaries, taken on more than I thought I could handle at times, figuring out where that sweet spot is, and then pushing again a little bit, right? And constantly not being afraid of failure, because I'm going to fail over and over again. And I'm just going to continue to make that mold me into a better person, a better friend, a better father, a better coach, whatever it may be that I'm going to do in life. I want to be continuing to get better at it. Hopefully this message doesn't seem, contrived or whatever. This is just the feelings I was having today. I wanted to do a video today, and this kind of topic has been on my mind for the last couple of days, and you know, it's come to my attention because I'm dealing with a lot of stress with my house, with you know, I had to book a couple trips this week, and it's just, I don't know, it creates a slight anxiety in me when I have to plan travel. You know, there's a lot involved, and I do all of my own stuff like that, so I have to really, you know, set aside time to make sure I get things done. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you understand how positive I am about life. I hope this doesn't come off as like being negative or down. I live a very blessed life. I am super fortunate, and it's that fortune that makes me want to do more and be more, because in the past I've accepted less, and I'm not happy about that. So I want to continue to push myself because I have opportunities, and opportunities, I feel like, as long as you have them, you have to push while you have them, and you have to continue to get the most out of everything you can. I don't ever want to just be that person that gets through life. I want to make life happen, and I wake up every day excited about the things that I'm doing. And yeah, there are moments of extreme stress. There are moments where I question every single thing I'm doing. But then there are also days where I just feel like I can't believe this is my life at this point. You know, I did not foresee this 5-10 years ago even. So anyway, guys, have an awesome Saturday. Have an even better Mother's Day tomorrow. I want you guys to just have the greatest weekends, and let's get next week started. As a reminder, next Saturday and Sunday I'll be in Orlando at the Europa with a client, but mostly I'm going to be walking around because, you know, she's only going to be on stage for a little bit. So I'll be at the expo both days for, you know, most of the day. I'm staying at the hotel right next to the convention center so I can work and go and be productive. So love to catch up with you guys. And the weekend after that, it's Toronto for the Toronto Pro. Yeah, it's getting real, y'all. So I'll talk to you next week. Have an awesome weekend.